save. Drops it down. McTavish taken down by Hellenius. Hellenius serves it. Here's the game. Plays it across.
See this moment right here? This is the exact moment where everyone watching this game thinks Finland has all but sealed their gold medal win against Team Canada. And with the puck floating towards a wide open net, only captain Mason McTavish stands as Canada's last hope to keep the game alive in overtime. Some may call it luck, others may call it skill, but this is how one funny little bounce created World Junior hockey history. August 20th, 2022 sees Team Canada versus Team Finland in the World Junior gold medal game. Now, if a World Junior hockey game in the middle of August doesn't sound right to you, that's because it isn't. But 2022 was a weird year. The tournament was originally scheduled to be held from December to January, but this year was going to be different as the pandemic forced the IIHF to implement a bubble behind closed doors in Edmonton for the tournament. However, after a couple of outbreaks while the tournament was underway, it was canceled by the IIHF on December 29th of 2021. That was devastating for the players, as many of them would age out and would never get another opportunity to compete for gold at the World Juniors. That wasn't until February of 2022 when the tournament was rescheduled to take place in August of that year. Like usual, Canada was loaded with talent. With players like Mason McTavish, Logan Stankoven, Kent Johnson, and the next one in Connor Bedard, this team was expected to win this tournament. After sweeping the group stage, Canada took care of business by beating the Swiss and the Czechs to punch their ticket into the gold medal game. Finland, on the other hand, had a slightly more difficult path. They would beat Germany in the quarters 5-2, and then would have to meet their arch nemesis in the Swedes. After a power play goal in the second of that game, Finland would live up to their defensive reputation and would hold on to the 1-0 lead and advance to the gold medal game. The two teams had already met prior to this game in the group stage, and it saw Canada come out on top rather easily in a 6-3 win. Captain Mason McTavish would have 3 points in that game and would come into the gold medal round as the tournament scoring leader. With the stage set, it would be the first time these two nations would meet for gold in World Junior history. With both teams looking to set the tone early, it was clear that Canada wanted to get behind the Finnish D and force them to make a play under pressure. In the first 10 minutes, Finland remained on their heels as Canada swarmed the Finnish D below the goal line and facilitated a few good chances. With around 8 minutes left to go in the first, a rolling puck would force Finland's D to once again make a play under duress. Canada's F1 comes in to take the man, F3 seals the wall, and that puts the puck in the hands of Canada's best player and Mason McTavish. Instead of shooting here and forcing a play, McTavish opts to swing around the net for traffic to develop in front. Canada crashes the crease, McTavish throws one in the mixer, and Joshua Waugh bangs home the rebound to make it 1-0 Canada. The Finns would start to play on their toes a little bit more in the second half of the first, but nothing would come of it. For Finland, it appeared as though their offensive game plan was to create off the cycle and take advantage of their point shots by getting bodies in front of the net. With Finland looking to do just that at the start of the second, they're in good position here to do so on the half wall. Finland's F3 makes a split-second read to dive deep on the assumption that they come out on top of this puck battle, but a cheeky little play here by McTavish to kick this puck up the boards opens up an opportunity for Canada. Zellweger gets away with a cross-check here and then takes off for a rush chance that the defensively sound Finns just don't usually give up. Canada takes advantage of a nice toe drag play by Dufour and makes it 2-0 with McTavish recording his second assist. Finland decides to take a timeout and wants to settle things down. However, Canada would keep applying the pressure and would get 5 straight power plays to pull away. However, strong goaltending from Jaakkola would keep this game within 2. With Canada failing to capitalize on any of the power plays, Finland would rally off of that momentum. Offensively, the Finns would keep 3 players high and create space for themselves to funnel pucks on net. The 2 bodies down low would create some havoc, and a rather innocent-looking floater from the Finns would end up in the back of Canada's net. Team Canada would push back, but Jaakkola remained brilliant. A few minutes after cutting the lead into half, Finland continues to stick to their game plan of wearing down Canada on the cycle, and 2 important puck battles won by Finland off the half wall would lead to the game-tying goal. Both teams would get chances to take the lead on the power play, but would fail to capitalize, and this game would head to overtime. Now, in overtime, the rules for this tournament entailed 20-minute sudden death OT periods, but this year, there would be no shootouts to decide gold, and it would be all 3-on-3. This meant that both teams had to pick their spots very carefully if they wanted to win this game. Not even 2 minutes into the period, Canada would send out their two best offensive weapons in Connor Bedard and Mason McTavish. As they get possession, McTavish wants to create confusion up high and drop it to Bedard on the switch. The setup is nearly perfect, except McTavish puts the drop pass a little too far ahead for Bedard, and the Finnish D-man in Ruben Rafkin pokes it to create a rush against. Finland gets a perimeter shot on goal, and Canada instantly looks for Bedard on the counterattack. His wrister is turned away by Jakola, and with him taking the scenic route behind the net, that forces Mason McTavish to make a tough decision here at the blue line. Instead of retreating and making this a 3-on-2 for Finland, McTavish gets caught in no man's land trying to be aggressive, and that creates a 3-on-1 for Finland. Fortunately for McTavish and Canada, Laukkas completely whiffs on this one-timer, and goaltender Dylan Garand decides he wants to keep the play alive with McTavish circling the wagon. But with Finnish forward Samuel Helenius putting pressure on McTavish's stick, McTavish gets hauled down with no call, and this sets up a slam dunk opportunity for the Finns to take home gold. After a brilliant tournament and a 2-point night for the captain, it will likely all be erased and forgotten if this puck finds its way in the back of the net. Except what would happen next will go down as one of the most chaotic sequences in World Junior history.
Taken down by Helenius. Helenius serves it. Laukkas in, face of the crowd. It's on the wall. It's saved by McTavish. He pulled it out of the air. Just pulled it out of the air. Incredible.
In what would seem like a for sure goal, Mason McTavish bats this puck clean out of the air down to the goal line, and it stops perfectly without crossing the line. Both him and Bedard swipe at it multiple times, and in their attempt to do so, the puck miraculously doesn't get hit into the net. Some may call it skill, others like McTavish may call it luck, but either way, he just made one of the biggest saves in Canadian hockey history, and that's kept them alive in this game to win gold. As the play continues on and Finland tries to attack again, Canada forces a turnover at center ice, and forward Logan Stankoven picks up the loose puck and has the opportunity to close out one of the craziest sequences in World Junior history. If Canada scores on this rush and wins gold, what will be remembered more than the goal itself is the save that made it possible. So with just a little over 3 minutes into this hectic sudden death overtime, you're about to witness World Junior hockey history.
Stankoven pulls it back